Give people a little bit of insight to how it is to work with President Donald Trump. What's been the most surprising part of being his vice president for you?
Oh, there's so many surprising things. I mean, I would say the most surprising thing, because obviously the president and I were close before I became the nominee, but the campaign was actually more parallel tracks. And I was doing my thing and he was doing his thing. And that's the nature of the beast, right? Because if he's going to be at a fundraiser, why not have me at a different fundraiser as opposed to the same one? Or if I'm going to speak to a crowd in Michigan, he's going to be speaking to a crowd in Wisconsin, right? You divide and conquer. And so even though we were doing this together, it felt a little bit more like parallel tracks. And so one thing I've learned just working with him like every day is he doesn't have an off switch. Like sometimes the president will call you at 12:30 or at 2 in the morning, and then he'll call you at 6 in the morning about a totally different topic. It's like, Mr. President, did you go to sleep last night? Like, what is going on here? And, you know, he says that's been one surprise. I think the second, I don't know if I'd call it a surprise, but certainly something that I've learned is a little bit related to what I said earlier. He really does empower his people to do things. Right, and that's the vice president's the weirdest role in the government because the president's clearly defined, the cabinet secretaries are clearly defined, House and Senate members. The vice president is very much at the discretion of the president. Like if the president wants to empower the vice president, then he can do that. If the president wants to not talk to the vice president at all, he could do that. And what's made this so much fun is the president all the time is just saying, JD, you go and do this, or JD, you go and talk to these leaders about this particular issue, or oh, you really care about this? No, you can do it. I'm not. You don't have to have me looking over you all the time. And there is this trust, and you see it with the president and Secretary Rubio. You see it with the president, Susie Wiles, with Steve Witkoff, our special envoy, who's done such a good job. Is he's very willing to say, this is what I want done. You go and do it. Report back or ask me for help if you need it. But that ability to delegate and trust his people has been really amazing. And the last thing I'd say, it's not so much a surprise about the president, but certainly maybe a surprise about the administration as a whole, is, the first administration, what the president says is he had some people around him he just didn't trust, right? And he had never done this before. Like he had never even, he's the first person who had never served in the military or been a previous politician. He just completely came from this super successful business career into the president of the United States. And the second administration, we just trust each other. And I think that it's made us so effective and so cohesive because we just are able to divide and conquer a little bit when you actually trust the team and obviously trust the man in charge.